Severed Bonds, Chapter 2, by Gia. I woke up to my mom screaming, making me jump out of my bed as I ran to her. She was crying heavily on the floor. "What's wrong?" I asked. Her reply shocked Zoe and I as she said, "My dog died in my arms. She, she just, she was breathing, then she just wasn't, and then she just went cold." I was already depressed, but hearing that brought me to a completely different level of depressed. I can't remember when I got back to my room, but I was there crying as I prepared for an amazing day at school. When I got to school, this morning's events plagued my mind. The bell rang, and soon I found myself in class where we were doing a group project. I blacked out for a second and found myself on the tiled floor with the teacher next to me. She rushed across the room in that short time. She proceeded to ask, "What happened?" "I don't know." "Who cares, though?" I asked, or said, getting off the floor. "Everyone cares," she said. "No, they don't. If they did, they would care that I wanted to kill myself," I yelled, before I stormed to the bathroom and drew a blade from my pocket. Soon, crimson lines filled my arms as I cleaned the blade and went to class with the blade resting in my pocket. When I got back, I yelled, "Who cares now?" My crimson arms laid out where everyone could see them as the room fell silent. When I went home, I had to hide my arms, which still bled. It was hard, but I was doing it. I kept my arms hidden until they bled through my sleeves, and Mom saw it. Of course she saw it. It's what I like to call the mom eyes. They always see things that are out of place or that are wrong. "Jim, what happened?" she said angrily. "Mom, I'm sorry," I said, breaking down. "I really fucked up and I'm sorry," I said, after collecting ourselves a bit. I said, "Maybe I should go to a mental hospital." She agreed, and not even an hour later, I was signed up for one. After a week or two, I found myself in the annoyingly bright room with very little for me to do. All the walls were padded, and every day a therapist came to ask me questions. During one of our talks, I mentioned that I wanted to kill myself. That led to an hour-long conversation in which she thought we made progress. We didn't make progress. We never made progress. Honestly, I knew we would be at this point one day where I'd have to either be at therapy or be in the psychological ward. Honestly, I ended up just getting good at acting like I was fine. So, what an idiot I was that I ended up making it to where I had to be here now. No other choice. When the conversation ended, I felt like I just wanted to go to bed. A warm bed was honestly all that was on my mind. I sat there laying in it with the suffocation-proof linings and sheets on there, just to make sure that we didn't ever end ourselves. We had our very nice hang-proof lights and shower heads and even railings with a small window by the door so that they could end up making sure that we weren't able to hurt ourselves. There was nothing sharp there and very little to do. I really want to run that down, that there was very little to do. Honestly, if there was any sort of risk of me hurting myself, I can do it. Before I fell asleep, inside of that disastrous bed, I found myself praying that I wouldn't wake up the very next morning. And with that hope of me not waking up that next morning, I let sleep overtake me to find myself in this peaceful wonderland.